Hey, what's going on? ZZ Top Brothers. Okay, so we're not the ZZ Top Brothers.
We're not ZZ Top Brothers.
My beard's not long enough.
My beard's not long enough.
Stavros actually wants to grow some chops, like Elvis. Man, look at that grass, man. Let's cutting the grass here.
Actually, I think that grass is better.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Because it promotes a better ecosystem in the neighborhood.
I'll give you an ecosystem.
Yeah, because higher grass means more bugs, and more bugs means more birds.
Oh, I see.
And I think it's good. Because think about it, like, you know the reason in lawns are lawns, right?
Why?
They wanted to. It was French people who didn't want on their areas be able to get grazed on by cattle.
They did not?
They don't. And they don't eat grass. Cattle don't eat grass.
What do they eat?
Because people like to classify grass as one plant.
Right.
But wild grass isn't grass. It's over 100 different types of plants that we call grass.
Oh.
You might think that they eat everything there, but they don't.
Right.
There could be clover, there could be alfalfa, there could be everything.
Oh.
Get it?
Yes, I do get it.
But we see grass, but it's not grass.
Even though there are weeds in there, we still call it grass.
Weeds aren't. There's no such thing as weeds. Look, see this? People call these weeds.
Right.
This is natural. These were always here.
Oh. I see.
These is what animals eat. Not you. Everyone hates you. And
Well, what do you call that right there?
that's a meadow.
Right there? That little thing right
That's
there?
how they grow. That's how meadows grow.
Oh.
Meadow glades. That's what they call them.
The meadow glades. Okay. I got it.
And that promotes habitats for small mammals that
Oh.
like to burrow at the bottom, and snakes and stuff that live there.
Okay, well,
Because
Yeah.
snakes can live there because small mammals live there. Get it?
yeah.
Oh, look at wild orange.
Uh-oh.
Wild orange.
Orange. Probably left by a dwarf mammal.
A dwarf mammal. No, but because people have this like weird arbitrary. It's like everyone. People have this weird sense that applies to almost everything. That they're superior. That's how racism is.
Yeah.
That's how speciesism is. That's how everything is. Because think about it, the
Interesting.
same way that you think, that people think weeds don't belong in lawns.
Right.
It's the same concept.
Watch it. Don't take me through here.
Oh, sorry. Didn't even see that. It's the same.
That's why people pay for drivers. Shut up, Pumpkin!
You get what you pay for.
My dog, Pumpkin.
Huh?
We can't call her Bubbles no more because that bubble on her neck's going down.
No, but yeah, the same way people will say plants and grass are weeds is the same concept of someone being racist.
Oh, I see. Yeah, now you can relate to grass on the racism. That's very good. That's very good.
No, it's not grass, it's just plants.
Different plants, yeah.
Because also, the type of grass you have on a lawn provides no benefits
Right.
to anyone. Especially even removes all benefits when you remove it with like soot. Not soot, it's what's it called? The grass you just lay down.
Yeah, it's called turf.
Yeah.
Not turf,
No,
but
I know exactly. What
I know what you.
It's real grass. But
Yeah.
But it's not real.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's real
Well, just
grass.
call it imitation grass.
Yeah.
Call it what it is.
Yeah. All it is a fake layer of dirt that plants this one type of grass. And that's it.
Oh.
And the reason that's a bad thing is it covers the actual dirt, making it impossible for small insects to climb out of that dirt. Because it's whack. And that means no birds or anything will eat on your lawn. Which is a good thing, but also a bad thing.
Interesting.
Like for example, right now, it's bee season. Nesting season.
It's what? Beef?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear that.
And a lot of people first thought when they see a beehive is to grab the raid and kill it.
Exactly.
That's not good.
I do it to wasps.
Yeah, you want
I hate wasps.
No, don't worry. Wasps will find you if you do that, because one will always survive and then find from a new colony somewhere else.
Yeah, I know.
No matter what you do. But with bees,
Yeah, a lot of people are killing bees, and they pollinate all our food and everything.
exactly. I mean,
Stupid.
sure, wasps and hornets technically pollinate too,
Yeah,
but
but they're just uglier.
no, but they actually don't share.
Oh,
They
okay.
don't share it with anyone.
And
just
they
share it
kill
within
bees. They
themselves.
kill bees, don't
yeah,
they?
they also hunt bees.
Right.
And I think it's crazy because it's like they're like machine guns.
I know.
And bees are like once a single shot gun.
Oh, you gotta get me that gun that Mom told you to look for. That little
Yeah, I
pellet
looked for
gun.
it and I can't
Yeah.
find it.
Really?
I'll have to clean my room. That's why.
Oh, well, that's what you're gonna have to do when you get home. See, I told you if you didn't take me for my walk, something else was gonna pop up. And then Mom was gonna throw you in your room, and then you're gonna say like, "Oh, I can't now. Are you serious? I'm cleaning my room, and now you want me to take the old man out for a
No,
walk."
but actually, a cool thing that bees do. They know that they can't risk using their stingers
Yeah.
to kill the wasps and hornets. Because
Okay.
once they use a stinger, then what? All of them use their stinger and they're all dead.
Right.
You know what they do?
But
They form what people sometimes refer to as cuddle balls around the wasps
okay, what do those
and
do?
hornets. And what it is it's like 10 or 12 bees or more bees form a ball around the invader.
Okay.
And then they start vibrating and moving in it together,
Mhm.
in which forms friction, which heats up to all the way to almost 200 degrees.
Okay.
And they essentially bake the hornet or wasp to death
Oh wow.
while cuddling,
Ah.
aggressive cuddling.
That's pretty cool, Axel.
They form little balls.
Did you learn that in science?
No, I had to learn it by myself.
Oh.
And it's just so weird because it's like, imagine you break into someone's house, okay?
Yeah.
But then instead of them actually attacking you, a bunch of people circle around you, and they start moving in together and rubbing up with each other to 200 degrees and burn you to death.
Wow. Well, that'd be different if I wasn't married, but I'm married now. You know.
Oh my god. No, because it's like, it's
But-
weird. It's crazy to think about it. No, because animals are cool, but people have this weird idea that they're not. Like, I don't know why people have this weird feeling like that things don't belong on Earth. Like, they do. You don't belong on Earth. If you think like that.
Right.
Like, because God made everything equal.
Yes. Well, we just finished listening to the radio. Remember listening to Modern Day Radio? And they just,
Yeah.
And they were talking about the first covenant, well, they were talking about the First Testament, and then they mentioned the covenant, okay, which is the Second Testament, and how when God came to be, He came to be to Moses, and God gave Moses all these laws, and the Jews, meaning the people, who weren't used to being told what to do because they used to worship idols, were bombarded, or they were, whatever they call, they were not overjoyed. They had too much information about all the laws and regulations that God imposed on His people, and one of them that God specifically wanted them not to do was to divorce and not to have polygamy. But in those times,
Those were both okay.
those were both okay because that was a way the culture was, and it was tolerated by God, and who in turn tolerated the Jews. Moses tolerated the Jews because they couldn't enforce certain laws, and But now, as the second covenant came along, it was the second opportunity for God, or when Jesus already came and he fulfilled the prophecy, and they started what they call the second covenant, and that's what closed all of. It changed all the things like no divorce, no polygamy, and anybody. Yeah, and all that stuff. A lot of people should have obeyed the first covenant, but they didn't, and that's why you have a lot of problems, like the Jews, and all of a sudden now you got the Mormons, who all said like, oh, okay, the Old Testament you can get married have more than one wife. See, that's bullshit, because anything and everything, we use everything. Christians use everything, and Christians use everything, and the one thing that they use is the first Testament, and they use the Second Testament, and we use them in conjunction because they're all books. So, what am I trying to say?
I don't really know.
We really don't know. But anyway,
I do know that it's kind of weird. I don't understand why we still listen to the First Testament if most of the stuff we don't actually listen to.
Because we don't practice it, but it's a history of where all the laws came from, of why we do this,
but all I know,
or why we don't do something anymore.
No,
it's all God's laws.
Yeah, I know that, but like, in that case, where do we eat pork?
We eat pork because anything and everything that God made is good. It was in the beginning of time, supposedly they didn't eat pork because they didn't cook it good enough. Suppose they said, God, if you look at the Bible, there is a page in the Bible, in the Old Testament, that lists the foods you're not supposed to eat. Something about the hoof of the cuff, or the cuff of the hoof, and that's got to chew its own cud. But there's a lot of things in there that all that is Old Testament. And we just finished telling you that the Jews already had a lot of laws that were laid down according to Moses, or according to whoever wrote the books on what they could eat, what they couldn't eat. And they couldn't overwhelm them with laws. And apparently, when they all get together and counsel, the Jews said like, maybe we shouldn't eat pork because my Aunt Julie, she got sick the other time. That's familiar. But nowadays, that's called what? You probably got the, you can't eat undercooked pork. We already know that. Can't eat.
There's a lot of worms in it.
Yeah. You can't eat undercooked.
That's another thing. People have this weird idea that like parasites don't belong. No, they do. Because everything God made is good.
Everything that God made is a purpose, whether it's bad or good. It's bad for somebody, it's good for something else. Everything is not good for everybody, and everything good is not bad. Okay, let me take that again, vice versa. Everything made by God is good. That's the first covenant.
It might not always be good for you.
It might not be good for you.
But it's good for
it has a purpose.
Someone.
Somewhere along the line.
Like mosquitoes carry a lot of diseases.
Yes.
But mosquitoes help spread diseases, which is good for the disease. But also mosquito larvae, the babies are eaten.
And then,
so it's a fight for survival, which is good for the person who's eating them.
And people go, that's right. And people are going to say, well, what's the purpose of flies? There is no purpose for flies except for food for somebody else who eats the larva.
There is a purpose of flies.
What is it?
It eats the decomposing matter so the world isn't full of...
There you go.
Isn't full of dead bodies.
There you go.
And why, if bodies didn't rot, imagine how many dead bodies would be here.
And that's why they say your body's gonna go earth. It came from the earth, and the earth shall go back.
If they didn't turn into dust eventually.
Eventually it will. I know.
If they didn't, you know how full the ground would be of bones.
Right. Well, there's a lot of nutrients in a human body. Same way they tell you when you plant a tomato plant, they tell you to get an egg, crack it a little bit, and then bury it with the tomato plant, and the tomato plant will grow beautifully. Same thing with a human being. You want to grow a tree, get a human being after they're dead, plant them on the bottom of the root structure,
That's the
and
that's the thing people are doing now.
and as the person grows, as the tree grows, it grows beautifully because the person's got a lot of nutrients, right?
Exactly.
So we got to do that.
Because it's a cycle of life.
Yep.
Like, people have this assumption that if you believe in God, you can't believe in science. That's not true.
That is not true.
Because who made science?
Mostly the Catholics were behind it.
No.
Gregor Mendel discovered the DNA, or didn't he? Or the DNA from string beans. And there's reasons for everything. You don't hear the whole story. Nobody's gonna tell you the whole story.
I just have to do something.
Okay, go ahead. But you know.
Okay. No, but the thing about it,
And
that's not the answer I was looking for.
Okay, with the Muslims too, they had a lot of things to do
I meant
with
sure, science was told to us and discovered eventually, but who created the world, which science exists? God did.
Right, and then there's two creation stories too, if you listen to them.
Because since God made the world, obviously He made all the forces. He says not the world. What am I saying? He made the universe.
Right.
He made the laws of the universe. He made science. And I don't know why people think science contradicts the existence of God. It doesn't. People have this weird assumption, like, hey, people believe that He's the guy in the sky, like, hi, hello, how are you today, God? I mean, sure, we look to the sky, because that's the greatest thing we know.
Right.
But, in reality, He's on a whole nother plane of existence as us.
Huh.
Because if we believe in heaven and hell, obviously we don't exist if they exist in the physical world.
Right.
They exist once we die.
Right.
And who knows and everyone knows when we die, we're no longer attached to the physical world.
Right.
Get it?
Exactly.
So people need to stop being like, I'm looking for God. Like, that's stupid.
It's true. I agree.
Like, I think it's just kind of interesting.
It's an interesting thing. Yeah, people have fought and died, and countries have been at war forever because of religion.
Raised.
Yeah.
But you can never unite the world. You can only unite your people.
Exactly. And that, if you go, now you said it a mouthful, because who was God trying to grab? He grabbed one person. That's why He said the Jews were the chosen people. Does that make sense now? You can't change the world. So He chose the Jews to change it for Him.
I don't understand though.
What's that?
How, according to when Jews were in Egypt,
What are these guys doing here?
I don't know. But according to when the Jews were in Egypt, some of them had already abandoned God. I mean, it's really sad though. I mean, I get it because they were slaves and stuff. But like, you have to remember, the God loves us unconditionally.
Right.
And that's why, even though some of them rejected God when they were still slaves, He still got Moses to free them. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Can't get this freak show out of here.
You want to go to the left or to the right?
I'll go to the right.
Okay.
No, I'll go.
I don't know. Keep going, push me. Push me over here. Go ahead.
Okay. And and people also say that evolution destroys the idea of God creating each individual species. But I believe.
What do you believe, Axel?
He intended evolution to happen. Because think about it, like.
Change is good.
Because think about it, like, all he knew is that he always wants life.
Right.
And when the earth was practically uninhabitable, nothing would have been able to survive except the small little DNA speckles in the ocean. Look, those look like alligators or something
Where?
in the water.
Where? What?
Like, kind of.
What are you looking at?
In that little pond.
But
The things in the logs and stuff in there.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't it kind of look like an alligator or
Yeah.
something? Yeah. No, but
When I was in Florida, I seen an alligator
Uh-huh.
in a pond like that.
No, but
It's frightening.
I think yeah, he knew evolution had to happen, and everyone always compares the 7 days of creation, and they're saying, oh, it's impossible.
Well, there's 2 days of creation, two different times that there were. That was one of them.
Yeah, I know. And because I believe the 7 days of creation refer to the creation of. I don't understand when people think science downgrades it, like.
Well, it's an interpretation.
Because like the Big Bang could easily be. It is God.
Okay, yeah. Okay, they say okay. Oh, okay. It was the stars exploded.
Who ignited them?
Who
What
made the
ignited
stars?
them? Exactly. What ignited those stars?
And what is the idea? What is time? Whose idea of time? What is the base of time? They're millennium. We got like millions of years, right? They said, oh, the Earth was formed in millions of years.
Billions.
Yeah, but according to who? According to what authority?
Well, I mean,
Because they said that time, according to God, in the 7 days, let there be light. They don't necessarily mean that.
but they don't know. They don't know.
They don't mean 1 day was 1 day. It was what it could have been a million years.
Yeah, we don't know what God's conversion rate was.
No, he doesn't. We do not. We do
We
not.
don't know what.
What he used as the.
We could have used. For all I know.
We're Hooten has a who. We're the Hootens who has a who, right?
Yeah. For all we know, an hour on one of those days could have been a billion years.
Exactly. And a day, how many hours is there in a day? So that's a billion hours in an hour. A billion days in an hour. So.
And who's to say? Like, I understand that we believe that we're. I understand. Not just things on Earth. If there's any, of course, I believe there's things outside of Earth. It doesn't make sense for God to make an empty universe.
Right.
Who's to say that He made Earth first? Who's to say that the first couple of days of creation refer to us at all?
Right.
Get it?
Got it.
That's just a little thing for thought.
Right. How you doing? Fine, thank you.
No, but that's just a little thing. Because, like, everything ties together. Like, sure, people might also be like, oh, you believe in aliens, so you must not believe in God. Like, what? You believe God made an empty world? Empty universe?
Yeah.
God was alone. So He made everything. Get it?
Yeah, I got it.
God was alone and there was darkness.
Man, I mean, some people don't get that. I'm glad you understand it.
That's my interpretation of it. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. Hey, you know, like I said, people have. You know, you have to have an authority to tell you what they mean when they're trying to interpret certain passages or certain books in the Bible. And you can't say that, oh, this is what it means, that's what it means, because mostly everything broke off from the Catholics who are Christians, and they went and it broke off because everybody had their own interpretation. Martin Luther had his own interpretation, but a lot of people don't know that Martin Luther was always a Catholic. He never changed. He never stopped being a Catholic. People just read his book and decided to go the route of a Lutheran, which was an offset of a Catholic. It was an offshoot. It's a spur. It's a spur from from Catholicism, as all others are. So is a Protestant. The Protestant, everything's a Protestant, but the main Protestants come from England when King Henry VIII couldn't get the Catholic Church to agree to have him get a divorce from his wife. So he kicked out the Catholic Church and had another religious. What are you doing?
Sorry, I just saw a honeybee.
Oh, well, take it and put it in your pocket.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, and here comes some kids, so you have to just scoot over or stand still.
Okay, I'm not gonna stand still. What do you think I am?
No, you can stand still if you want, you know. But don't get me in the...
Whoa. Sorry about that. I'm getting too close to the edge, that's why.
Just stop right here and let them pass. Stop
Okay.
right here.
Okay.
Get to the close to the right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dad.
That's twice, dude.
Well, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just appreciate you taking me. And yeah, but that's about it. Hey, so
What do you say? Adios, Gato.
adios, gato.